Good morning, friends. How are you today? It's been a busy morning so far. I was out at the current farm string trimming in advance of our final U-pick tonight. And I just wanted to make sure that there was not a lot of brambles around for people to be rubbing their legs up against. And now I'm at the new location because I need to start laying out the beds with stakes and string so that then I can determine how much compost I'm going to need to order. So that's what we're going to be doing this morning. And then I need to harvest veggies in my garden and hit Trader Joe's to put together some picnic boxes for the folks that are coming out this evening to do their U-pick. So that's what's on tap for the day. I really had wanted to get out here yesterday, but I had a migraine for most of the day, which really sucked because I hate losing half a day that way. But I did get all of the week 36 seeds sown, and I got my new planting schedule for next year laid out, and so I know what seeds I need to order. So I did get a lot done yesterday. It just felt slow and plodding. All right, let's get started on laying out these beds. I have stakes, wooden stakes, I'm going to pound into the ground, and then I will run string line, but only on the long ends. I'm not going to run string line on the short ends because when you wheelbarrow in a bunch of compost, all those wheelbarrow loads, you end up breaking the string as you're going in and out, and it's just a pain in the butt. So we'll get those laid out, and then I'll be able to do the calculations. Initially, I had planned on maybe converting to 4-foot wide beds because you actually do gain quite a bit of growing space if you do that. And there are less pathways to maintain if you do that. But that works really well in places that get a lot of rain. We're just so dry here. Having a big wide bed like that is hard to keep irrigated. So I'm gonna stick to the regular 30-inch market garden beds, 30 inches wide, 40 feet long. I think I'm gonna be able to get 10 beds out of this. We'll see. Okay, first half done. So I didn't finish, and because I ran out of stakes, but let's go over what we did. So these beds are, okay, first of all, these yellow flags are going to be the deer fence edge. So you can see I've got a pretty nice wide pathway here, and that's because I want to be able to get my gorilla cart, which I haven't bought yet, down this pathway easily so I can get to the far beds and even further out to the back of the property, and carry things so I don't have to carry them on my back or in my arms. So I wanted a nice wide path here. And then these are 30-inch wide beds with 18-inch pathways, which is pretty much what I always do. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 30-inch wide beds that are 40 feet long. That's a lot more than I thought, and that's super exciting. So down here will be the same thing. I've got them laid out, this row, but I only had 4 stakes left, so I'll have to go buy more stakes so I can complete it. And you'll see the ground is kind of rising up a little bit there when we get to that pink flag. So I may have to bump this out a little bit and have to re-till through here, which actually I definitely will, if you can see. But that's okay. I have a small tiller. I can totally do that. This is a 5-foot wide pathway separating the 2 beds. Most likely I will put landscape fabric down here so that I have a clean surface to stay weed free and walk on. The pathways, I'm assuming I'm going to do deep wood chips in, and probably also along the fence, the inside of the fence line, the deer fence line. So I'll get more stakes and come out tomorrow and finish this part. So then we will have 12 row crop beds. That's a lot. That is a lot more than what I currently have. That's crazy. That's almost double. And then back here, you can see we just have this huge area that I haven't even really started working on yet, and I may not get to this year. I don't know, we'll see, probably. But so in areas like this that are relatively flat, I'm going to be building raised beds. I'll actually bring the 4 redwood raised beds from the house. That's where they're going to be taking the place of the new greenhouse is going to be moving there. I'll bring those here so that I can, dig them into the sides of the hills and stuff, and we can always build more. But that will take advantage of growing space here on this sloping ground without sacrificing drainage or land creep. So it'll keep everything really stable. So I won't have row crops here. If I do, that's why these pink flags are here. I may have a few beds through here, maybe 3 from here. That's 40 feet. I might be able to do 3 beds in this area, or maybe only 2. It just depends. But I'm also just as happy to just do raised beds out here to make it work. So that feels like progress. It looks good. It's always exciting to start seeing things coming together. So next steps, I have to get the rest of the stakes, get these other beds laid out. At least now I could do the math on knowing how much compost I'm going to need. I am going to have to estimate additional compost for areas back here. But that doesn't have to all come at once. So the row crops are the important part. I have started a lot of seeds that are not going to go in the row crop areas, but that's okay because I can bump those up, make a separate order. So yeah, this feels really good. It's wider than I thought it was going to be. So if we build a hoop house, it will need to be a 30-foot wide one as opposed to a 20-foot wide one because we're at about 25 feet here in width. And so that's good to know because that's, more covered space. than I currently have. So yeah, it's all good. Battery died on me, so I'm going to say all that again. After I stake out the next set of beds, then I will have my rake, and I will rake these pathways into the bed areas so that we can start building raised bed tops. And also it'll be a very clear pathway then. It'll be very clear what's path and what's not. And that'll help level out areas like this where even though we filled it in, it's still kind of deep here, swaley. So I'll pull a lot of this stuff in to make it more level. And then I will add some amendments, basic amendments. I haven't gotten the soil test back yet, but I think it's going to be nothing surprising. So I'm going to put down some basic stuff that I usually do, like bone meal, maybe a little bit of blood meal, and then we'll put the compost on top. There's only going to be like 2 inches of compost. We're not going crazy here because we want the plants to be in the native soil. And I will probably also do a soil drench. I will make some compost tea and probably also fermented plant juice as well, and drench these beds so that I can start really creating that microbiology in there ahead of planting time. Nice big fat horsefly in the car. I'm about to leave, but I just opened the windows hoping it will fly out so that it doesn't get stung while I'm driving. Okay, so I'm hot and sweaty. I need to go shopping now for some yummy stuff for tonight for the picnic boxes and get myself some lunch. So thanks for hanging out with me today. Stay tuned. More and more of the work is going to be happening out here and less back at the farm. It's mostly going to be disassembling after next week. I'm so excited. I can't wait to start breaking stuff down back there. So, all right. Thanks again for hanging out with me. I hope you have a wonderful time in your garden, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.